started off on certainly my managerial journey. The results have been, a miracle really. What the players have produced, and it's important that we don't become complacent. It was a disappointing result on Saturday, but there's a real good inner belief within our squad, and I'll be looking for their reactions this week. And from a form point of view, when you look at the results that they've achieved, I think if we said beforehand we were going to do that, I think people would have not believed us as strongly as what they do now. So it's important. The objective still remains, and that's to make sure we stay in the Football League. And the players have responded normally after a defeat, and I'll be looking for the same again on Friday. It does, and it does, raise the question as to where we would be if we started off. But hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, we'll have a real good opportunity to do that next year. I think when I first took over as manager, I wanted to keep it simple for the players. We come up with a formation that seems to work well. It's quite flexible as far as it's very attacking, but having said that, with it being very attacking, I think the stats as far as the clean sheets are concerned, people have actually wanted to do interviews with Artur Krysiak, and that just goes to show it's not the front players, it's even players leading from the back to the front. And yeah, that's been impressive, and it's been impressive for the players and something to be proud of with keeping clean sheets. It's always nice to do that. I think it's massive, the consequences of the football club going into the conference is unthinkable. There's a lot of supporters that support this club hard, and they show it with passion. There's a real big unity now and a togetherness within the academy that are working behind the scenes to produce young players, which is exciting. And obviously myself for my future as a manager, and the whole football club really, and the staff that have been here for many years. We don't want to face that difficulty and the decision making of even dreaming of going into the conference. And I'll be making sure this group of players are fighting for their futures and fighting for the future of this football club. Winning football matches. I think when you win football matches, there's a belief around the place. People start believing, people start buying into what you want to do. I know there was a lot of doubters when I took over as manager, but it's something, if I had to write down what I had to deal with as a manager, that would perhaps be one of the difficulties that I faced. But then I knew if I could win football matches and players could win football matches, they'll start buying into me as a manager and us as a group of players that was losing every week. So it's pretty simple really when you think about it. If you win, then everyone believes that you're the next best thing, and if you lose, there's always a question mark. And that's the beauty of football, and you have to deal with that pressure as a manager and make sure if you do get a defeat, you come back as the same person, your same beliefs, and players see that. I think it's massive for a town like this. I see the place buzzing every day of the week. The artificial 3G, which was provided when we got in the championship, it's been a valuable tool to have right alongside your ground. The facilities we got, the staff we got are working hard behind the scenes to create the next young player, and it's very bright. And when you look at that side of it, it's quite exciting. And I think when I took over as manager, one of the questions was, what are your thoughts, what are your feelings on the academy? And it's pretty clear for me is to develop young talent, and that's my vision as a manager. I haven't been able to do it because of The academy's only just been set up, so there's complications as far as college work, but I want to be able to get these young lads training with me on a regular basis, get them into the first team environment where the experienced players can educate them, and then me give them the opportunity to cross that white line. And yeah, it's exciting times as far as young players' development in this community. I mean, Connor is a unique case as far as he's stood the test so far. He was about to create, I think, an unbelievable stat for an under-21 player to play every game for a football club. Is an amazing achievement nowadays, considering it can be very complex, loans. There's a lot of reasoning that goes behind it. Connor's only a young player, but to have the CV as it stands at the moment is fantastic achievement. With his call-up, I've learnt a lot from Connor's call-up as far as the club and country rule, because you know, the policy and the selection process, and I understand that these players get cherry-picked, but when you're at a football club like Yeovil, you need those players, because you know we've only got a small squad, and certainly over the last 2 years now with Liam Shepherd, this football club, and I know Swansea respect that, we've enabled them to get an international call-up, and that's been the same with Connor. Connor's is his first call-up, which I find very surprising. But having said that, this football club's allowed him to be able to express himself, to be able to become the player that he is, and it is difficult when they come along and all of a sudden they take him away, and I want to be able to welcome Connor in that situation, and because you know, playing for your country is a very proud moment, and I think Connor's got a very bright future. But it was a very interesting situation as how it developed, and certainly one experience I'll remember for me as a manager, and something I've gained a lot of well, I would say certainly experience within 2 days on how the club and country rule works, because it is an interesting one, and I had to look back on, you know, other managers, certainly the Brendan Rodgers case, as to everyone knows how big that was with one of his players, and yeah, it's been my first problem, and I presume there'll be many more in the future.